Ancient Algeria, empires in the sand. A land where history is etched into every grain of sand and every stone tells a story. Imagine North Africa before Instagram, before selfies, and even before camels were a thing. This was a time when the landscape was as much a character in the story as the people who lived there. The vast deserts and rugged mountains were the backdrop to a rich tapestry of cultures and civilizations. Back then, Algeria was a prime spot, attracting everyone from Phoenician traders to mighty Roman emperors. It was a melting pot of influences, each leaving an indelible mark on the land. The Phoenicians, those ancient maritime masters, set up shop along the coast, founding trading posts like Carthage, which, spoiler alert, wasn't exactly known for its long-term city planning. They were the original entrepreneurs, always on the lookout for new opportunities. These guys were all about business, and their influence on Algerian trade was, let's say, significant. They brought with them not just goods, but also ideas and innovations that would shape the region for centuries. Then came the Romans, with their legions, their togas, stylish but impractical, some might say, and their love of building things, roads, cities, you name it. They were the ultimate builders, leaving behind a legacy of architectural marvels. They hung around for a while, leaving their mark on everything from architecture to language. The Roman influence is still visible today in the ruins that dot the Algerian landscape. By the way, ever heard of Numidia? It was a powerful Berber kingdom that gave the Romans a run for their money. These were the original warriors of the desert. It was a powerful Berber kingdom that gave the Romans a run for their money. The Numidians were known for their fierce independence and military prowess. You could say they were the regional influencers of their time. Their leaders, like King Massinissa, were legendary figures who played crucial roles in the power dynamics of the ancient world. Let's just say, ancient Algeria was never boring. It was a land of constant change, where empires rose and fell, and where every stone has a story to tell. Berbers and Islam shaping a cultural identity. Fast forward a few centuries and a new force emerged in North Africa: Islam. It wasn't just a religion, it was a cultural revolution, bringing with it new ideas, new laws, and of course new fashion trends. Turbans, anyone? The Berbers, those resilient folks who'd been around since, well, forever, embraced Islam but held on to their own unique traditions. Think of it as the ultimate cultural fusion: Berber spices mixed with Islamic flavors, creating a unique and vibrant society. This period saw the rise of powerful Berber dynasties like the Almoravids and Almohads. These guys weren't messing around. They ruled over vast empires that stretched across North Africa and even into Europe. Talk about punching above your weight. Under the Ottoman banner, a new power in the Mediterranean. By the 16th century, the Ottoman Empire, with its impressive mustaches and even more impressive navy, was the big fish in the Mediterranean Sea. Their naval prowess was unmatched, and their ships were a common sight, dominating the waters and ensuring their influence spread far and wide. The Ottomans were not just about military might, they were also skilled diplomats and traders, weaving a complex web of alliances and economic ties that further solidified their power. They sailed into Algeria, bringing with them their own brand of governance and, yes, even more architectural flair. The Ottomans left an indelible mark on the region, blending their own cultural elements with local traditions to create a unique and lasting legacy. Their influence can still be seen today in the stunning buildings and intricate designs that dot the Algerian landscape. Algeria became a province of the Ottoman Empire, ruled by governors known as beys. These beys were appointed by the Sultan and were responsible for maintaining order, collecting taxes, and overseeing the administration of justice. They wielded significant power and were often influential figures in their own right, navigating the complex political landscape of the time. Think of them as the regional managers of their time, responsible for keeping things running smoothly, or as smoothly as possible considering the era. They had to balance the demands of the central Ottoman government with the needs and desires of the local population, a task that was often easier said than done. This period saw Algeria emerge as a major player in the Mediterranean, with its corsairs, essentially state-sanctioned pirates, striking fear into the hearts of merchant ships across the sea. These corsairs were not just pirates, they were also skilled sailors and warriors, often operating with the full support of the Ottoman government. Their exploits became legendary, and they played a crucial role in the empire's naval strategy. It was a golden age for maritime adventure, if you were on the right side of the cannon fire, that is. The Mediterranean was a bustling hub of activity, with ships from all over the world plying its waters. For the Ottomans and their allies, it was a time of opportunity and expansion, as they sought to control the seas and the lucrative trade routes that crisscrossed them. Section 4. The French Connection, a century of colonial influence. The 19th century brought with it a new chapter in Algerian history, French colonialism. It all started with a diplomatic incident involving, of all things, a fly whisk. Let's just say things escalated quickly from there. By 1830, France had invaded and begun its long and often brutal colonization of Algeria. They called it making Algeria French, but it was more like a hostile takeover. Land was seized, traditional ways of life were disrupted, and, well, let's just say there were definitely cultural differences. This period had a profound impact on Algeria, shaping its economy, its society, and its relationship with the world. It also sowed the seeds of resistance that would eventually lead to Algeria's fight for independence. Section 5. The Fight for Freedom, a nation forged in struggle. After more than a century of French rule, Algerians decided they'd had enough. In 1954, the National Liberation Front, or FLN, launched an armed struggle for independence. This wasn't your average protest movement, this was a full-blown revolution. The Algerian War of Independence was a brutal and bloody affair with atrocities committed on both sides. It was a struggle not just for political freedom, but for the very soul of a nation. Key figures like Ahmed Ben Bella emerged as leaders of the independence movement, rallying the Algerian people to their cause. After years of fighting, Algeria finally won its independence in 1962. It was a hard-won victory, paid for in blood and sacrifice. Section 6. Independent Algeria, navigating the post-colonial world. Independence was just the beginning of Algeria's journey. Building a new nation from the ashes of colonialism was never going to be easy, and Algeria faced its share of challenges. There were political upheavals, economic struggles, and the ever-present challenge of forging a national identity after centuries of colonial rule. It was like trying to assemble a complex piece of furniture without the instruction manual. Despite the difficulties, Algeria persevered, establishing itself as a key player in North Africa and on the world stage. It became a leading voice in the non-aligned movement and a champion of anti-colonial struggles around the globe. Section 7. Algeria Today, Challenges and Opportunities. Today, Algeria stands at a crossroads, a pivotal moment in its history. It's a country of immense potential with vast oil and gas reserves that fuel its economy and offer a promise of prosperity. A young and dynamic population, eager to innovate and drive change, is one of Algeria's greatest assets. And with a strategic location at the crossroads of the Mediterranean and the Sahara, Algeria is uniquely positioned to be a hub of trade and culture. Yet, challenges remain. There are economic disparities that need addressing, political reforms that are essential for true progress, and the ever-present threat of terrorism and instability in the region, which casts a shadow over the nation's future. It's a delicate balancing act, navigating these complexities while striving for progress and development. Despite the uncertainties, there's a palpable sense of optimism in the air, a belief that better days are ahead. Algerians, known for their resilience and their humor, face these challenges head-on, determined to build a brighter future for their nation. They are investing in education, infrastructure, and technology, while also preserving their rich cultural heritage. The story of Algeria is still being written, and the next chapter promises to be just as captivating and transformative as the ones that came before.